grass, pot, weed, whatever you call it, marijuana is the wrong choice. CBS News defines it as a mixture of dried leaves, stems, and seeds for the cannabis sativa plant. Created in 2700 BC, this drug was originally used as hemp for things such as fabric, rope, or ethanol fuel. Marijuana was first deemed illegal in Utah in 1910, followed by Wyoming in 1915 and Texas in 1919, with the rest of the United States following. It became illegal because it was seen as an addictive drug, had no medical use, was linked with narcotics, and many more others. Basically, marijuana is not good for anyone, and our keystone philosophy is that it's a completely useless, non-essential drug that is not needed in our society. Marijuana should not be legalized because it only has negative side effects, it does not serve a visible value, and it leads to the abuse of further more harmful drugs. To begin, marijuana legalization would be unbeneficial because it has mostly negative side effects. Marijuana does no good to people's health and immune systems, despite what people may believe. Although some consequences are not death-threatening, such as increased appetite, it can also go as far as cancer. Browsing throughout countless websites, I discovered not one good side effect of marijuana. As stated on marijuanaaddiction.info, some common side effects include mental problems such as hallucination, delusion, or loss of self-identification. On top of that, marijuana has physical consequences including increased heart, blood, and breathing rate, later leading to a higher risk of lung cancer, heart attacks, and strokes. The same source also stated that the reaction time for motor skills, like driving, is reduced by 41% after smoking one joint and 63% from smoking 2 joints, most likely leading to disastrous events like car accidents. The most common issue that I anticipate my opponents arguing is addiction. Although most people will say that there is no addiction to this drug, that statement is false. Addiction is defined by Dictionary.com as the state of being enslaved to a habit or practice, or to do something that is psychologically or physically habit-forming to such an extent that its cessation causes severe trauma. A study from the same source stated that in 1995, 165,000 people that entered drug treatment programs reported marijuana as their primary source of addiction, proving that they need help to stop using the drug. In addition to this, depression is also a main side effect of this drug, and because of that, people continue to use this drug to relieve pain, representing the addiction idea. Finally, because people are not in the right frame of mind while under the influence of marijuana, crime rates will rise because people make decisions that would not otherwise be made. With marijuana comes only negative side effects and does no good to people at all whatsoever. Next, marijuana serves no visible value in medicinal or leisurely use and should not be legalized. By legalizing a wasteful drug, it will put our economy in further debt because it will cost money to be mass-produced. For example, major medical and health organizations, expert medical doctors, scientists, and researchers concluded that smoking marijuana is not as safe or effective as a medicine. These organizations include the American Medical Association, the American Cancer Society, National Sclerosis Association, the American Glaucoma Association, American Academy of Ophthalmology, National Eye Institute, and the National Cancer Institute. To add on, even though some people believe that this drug helps with medical use, a previous study at the University of Boston College stated that marijuana did not improve memory or reverse the effects of Alzheimer's disease. The U.S. Society of Neuroscience believes that marijuana helps cancer, MS, and other disease-ridden patients relieve their pain, but then, wouldn't marijuana be an equivalent to painkillers? Painkillers are defined by Dictionary.com as a drug, treatment, or anything that relieves pain. Although painkillers are of vital importance to our society, there are many different kinds of them right now, and marijuana is no stronger than any other. One example of a painkiller is corticosteroids such as Medrol or prednisone. In conclusion, marijuana has no real value and is viewed as an equivalent to painkillers, which we already have, so why throw our money away? Lastly, marijuana leads to the use and abuse of furthermore harmful substances, labeling it as a gateway drug. This means that marijuana leads people to much more damaging drugs, such as cocaine. For instance, a study by researchers at the Mount Sinai School of Medicine in New York proved that marijuana is a gateway drug, and despite people thinking that mental or emotional causes is what leads them to harder drugs, it can affect future sensitivity to other drugs, like heroin. During the same study done by Professor Yasmin Hurd, it was stated that marijuana affects the human brain's natural chemicals called endogenous opioids, which play a role in having more positive emotions and creating a sense of reward. Unfortunately, this is the same system affected by harder drugs. Examples like this, along with many others, prove that marijuana is in fact a gateway drug. To conclude, marijuana is an unsafe drug and will cause serious health issues. To restate my three main points, marijuana has no visible value, mostly negative side effects, and is a gateway drug. Our keystone philosophy, as previously stated, is that marijuana is a useless, non-essential drug, and we do not need to add it to our society. When you vote, think about this, boys and girls. Do we really need marijuana corrupting our society and the youth of today? Don't you want our kids to live in a drug-free world? Remember this and vote affirmative.